Getting reactions from some prominent people. Many MPs have also spoken in Parliament today. We're also speaking to law experts, to policemen. Joining us this evening is Dr. Sanjay Chugh. He's a psychiatrist. Dr. Chugh, we've been talking about the best ways to deal with a menace like this. How do we proceed to stop this shame, and what is the best possible deterrent? We are also getting in callers, I understand. We are going to put one of them through. Himanshu Mehta is joining us this evening. Mr. Mehta, what's your question?
Ma'am, just I want to say that why our law is not proper against the rapist. They should be hanged immediately.
Well, this country does follow a due course of justice, but that is one of the strong demands, Dr. Chugh. Exemplary punishment and very strong punishment. Do you think that is going to help, that is going to prevent others from committing something as heinous as rape?
Absolutely. I mean, this is what we were discussing on your channel today afternoon also. You know, it's all very well to talk about changes at grassroots levels and all, but by the time those changes come into place, I think you would have hundreds of more incidents of rape, of murder and of other such heinous crimes. I mean, we don't want to see that happening. You definitely need to make examples of these, you know, I don't want to use very, very harsh words on camera, but these guys deserve the worst that law can throw at them. If death penalty is an option, hang these guys and you splash it across the media for the next 1 year. You know, you see this statutory warning with a huge skull and all on cigarette packs. The idea behind showing these images is that a person who is buying a pack, he gets repelled by the thought of what the cigarette could do to him. Similarly, if people who have some psychopathic tendencies, who have some sociopathic tendencies, who have some antisocial tendencies, they see on TV, you know, on a daily basis, they see on hoardings, they see in newspapers and magazines that these 6 guys, they did what they did and then they were hanged. This is going to instill the fear of God into them. I remember, you know, when I was in school, there was this famous Billa and Ranga case where they kidnapped Sanjay and Geeta Chopra. They kidnapped them, raped the girl, murdered them. They were hanged. It took a lot of time, but they were hanged. I don't see why this case should be any different. That is one. We are talking about fast-track courts. You know, there is a very, very famous, a very old saying which says, justice delayed is justice denied. There is no point having a law or a judicial process which is going to take forever to sentence these people to whatever sentence they deserve. You set up a fast-track court, within a month the punishment should be out. It should be implemented. There should be no legal recourse open to them to appeal after that sentence has been passed.
Okay,
what we find in our country is that a person,
Dr. Chugh, I'm afraid I'm just going to have to stop you there for a second, because we also have Mr. Tejendra Luthra, Joint CP, Northern Range, who's joining us. So, you know, with all the experience that you've had, and given what you've been seeing today on television, one of the biggest feelings that's come out is that these people should be made an example of. There should be fast justice that's delivered. What do you have to say about this?
Sorry, your audio connection is not there.
Sir, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's okay.
One of the demands that we've heard repeatedly today, together with this emotion of anger, has been that the people who have done this to this girl, there should be fast justice, they should be punished, there should be an example that's made out of this. What do you have to say about it?
You know, at the outset, I would like to condemn this issue in very unambiguous words. In fact, I am falling short of words to condemn this issue. Having said that, I would like to say that, of course, we can have changes in the law and we can have minimum punishment as life imprisonment or maybe more than that. But we have to look at the problem in a holistic way. If we do not look at the problem in a holistic way, our debate will be skewed. We can blame one agency or the other, but we will not do any justice with the issue. Therefore, we have to look at the issue in a broader framework. We have to see that police is the foot soldier of criminal justice system. There are many other facets which need to be strengthened, which need to be fastened. And unless we do it, I don't think will be debating a meaningful issue.
Absolutely, there are many issues that need to be addressed, but one of the things that came out after this incident was what was the police doing. There was a PCR van. We'll come to that. For now, let's get another voice from Bangalore. Mr. R. Ramachandra is with us.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, you see, I've been hearing that, you see, the point I'm trying to make is that anything that type of punishment given should be made such that people are afraid. A man is particularly psychologically more afraid of losing his manhood than his life. You see, that is a real psychological point. So actually the best thing is that these people who indulge in this kind of crime, they think they are masters. So the best thing is to separate them and then not leave them in the public because they will become a nuisance, they will become other criminals. So they should be kept in jail, but they should be castrated. And it should be made announced so that this is the punishment you get, and that will put the fear of God into all the men who go about these
Right.
macho-style activities.
Right. Mr. Luthra, we've heard voices like these through the day today. People are very angry. They're outraged at what's going on in this country, in many cities, but Delhi seems to be one of the worst affected. As a policeman who is at one of the top positions, why does it take so long for these cases to move forward? Justice delayed is justice denied, as Dr. Chugh just pointed out.
You are right. In fact, investigation is always time bound. Under the Criminal Procedure Code, we have to finish the investigation in 60 days and file the charge sheet. But then the ball is in the court, and we have to have faster trials. We have to have fast track courts, because faster punishment will instill a kind of fear of law in the minds of these rogues.
Sir, I just want to ask you a question. Kiran Bedi earlier on had sort of come up with certain suggestions that she thinks could perhaps lead to a more proactive way of managing this situation. One of the things she talked about was the antisocial elements that repeatedly come into the NCR region. They commit crimes and they go back out again. What can you tell us about that statement?
Floating population is a challenge for us, but this is a democratic country. Everybody is free to go wherever he wants to go, where he wants to do his business, or wherever he wants to reside. So that's why in a democratic free society, floating population has always been a challenge for us, and it will always be a challenge for us.
As one of the senior most policemen in Delhi, what is the assurance that you can give out to women, to people of the national capital who are very agitated today, who are asking questions about what the police was doing?
Our teams have worked very hard, and that's how within no time we have arrested 4 guys. And 2 are on the run, and we are sure very soon we'll be getting them also. At the same time, I want to tell that we have left no stone unturned making this city safe for the women. We have been in touch with women NGOs, we have been regularly interacting with them, we have been taking their suggestions and we have been implementing them. For example, we have set guidelines for BPOs, we have even promulgated 144 for BPO vehicles.
Right.
We have women helplines, we have women investigating officers for rape cases,
Right.
we are taking the help of NGOs in Rape Crisis Intervention Center. Every kind of measure that is possible under the sun, we are taking that.
Sir, I'm going to ask you to hold on because we want to hear from our callers as well. We have Kunal who's calling in from Pavel. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, first and foremost, I would like to strongly condemn this barbaric act which took place on Sunday. Now, I would like to, people will really feel bad what I say, but it's the truth. Lawmakers are the lawbreakers. Because the politicians, the police, they should create an example for the society. Having said that, because women are really ill-treated in the society, whenever woman she wants to launch, when she goes to a police station, she wants to launch a complaint, she is really ill-treated by the people, by the police. Secondly, Section 376 should be considered as the rarest of rarest case, and a very, very strict punishment should be, and the person involved in this crime should be convicted or hanged until death.
Okay, well, you're saying that this should actually be considered rarest of rare and serve as the biggest deterrent in terms of the possible penalty that is possible there. Mr. Luthra, I'm just going to come back to you on that. I'd just like a word from you on what this caller has just said.
You know, there is no denying about the fact if we want to make the laws harsher, we can do that. But making laws harsher is one aspect of the problem. We'll have to attack this issue from all angles. Besides the speedy investigation, we need speedy forensic science results. We need faster courts. We need faster trials. And we need exemplary punishment.
And a more sensitized police force, would you say?
Of course, why not? We keep on doing it, and it is our continuing endeavor, and it is our continuing challenge.
Right, we have one more caller, I believe. Rajiv is calling us from Gurgaon. Rajiv, what do you want to ask?
Yeah, I just want to say that, I am infuriated by this, and it's outrageous. And we guys, so police, sensitizing the police and all is all very well, but we need to sensitize the parliament also, because these people, they debate for 2 days on FDI, and an issue like safety and security for women is not even on the agenda ever.
Well, I can tell you it was discussed today and very strongly condemned by MPs, but yes, they are the lawmakers and they can do more than just discussing something like this. Dr. Chugh, all those reactions coming in, all the anger that's pouring in, what would you want to say on this?
One thing, this was a theme in the afternoon also, and even now, people are saying that women should become more self-reliant. This is a concept that I disagree with totally. Tomorrow a senior citizen is murdered, people will turn around and say that the senior citizen should be more physically fit. The third day a pedophile is roaming the streets, molesting children. People will say that children should become more self-reliant. It doesn't make sense to me. A person who is ill, he's stabbed to death, people will say, oh, that ill person should have healed himself faster, he should have been stronger so that he would have prevented that stabbing. The onus is not on the victim here, unfortunately. The onus is on society at large, and more specifically on the so-called law enforcers and the lawmakers, to ensure that we live in a society where, all of us can do what we want without any fear of oppression, of repression, of suppression, of being, wounded grievously, of being raped, of being kidnapped, of being murdered. By talking, by saying that, this girl should have taken up judo classes or karate classes should be made mandatory in schools, I think you are just deviating completely from the point. The point is not the weakness of the girl child. The point is the sociopathic deviation inside the man's mind. I mean, if you have to resort to these as options, I would say you should resort to castration for all men who are showing any kind of deviant or antisocial patterns. That would probably be much, much more effective.
Dr. Chugh, stay with us. Mr. Luthra, stay with us. Of course, we'll get into the actual barbarity of this crime in just a moment. But I believe we have another caller. This is Shiny Malhotra. She's calling in from Vasant Kunj in Delhi. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I just shifted 6 months back and I have been staying in the same area where this has happened yesterday. So I just want the victims to be hanged in front of everybody before the girl gets well and come out of the, come out of the hospital. Then only these people will know what extent they can be punished. Before the girl comes out of the hospital, this guy should be hanged right away in front of public. And these castrations and all will not help. Trust me, no legal aid should be provided to them. They should just be hanged without any support. That is what I want. I mean, I have faced this after coming to Delhi. In last 6 months, I have faced this. I'm literally reduced to my house in this Mahipalpur area only.
All right, Shani, you're telling us, of course, you also live in an area that is very close, so basically that same area where this crime took place. Thanks for giving us your opinion. I'm going to go back to Mr. Luthra for a minute here. Mr. Luthra, we've heard various opinions, a lot of anger, a lot of emotion that's been expressed. But really, just a question as well. Why is Delhi particularly so susceptible? Why are women so vulnerable, particularly in Delhi, to these rapes? And now what we're seeing, a rising instance of barbarity in the way they're being done.
In fact, your argument is based on the comparison between different cities. In fact, I would request you, we should not compare two cities and reach a conclusion that one city is safer and the other is not. Every city has its own issues. Every city has its own kind of population, own kind of demographic composition of problem. And we have different sets of issues in every city. If we compare two cities, we will not reach a good conclusion and we will not be able to solve the problem.
What will solve
Delhi
the problem?
has its own kind of population.
Yes, that is what we are
Delhi
looking
has its own issues of floating population. Delhi has its own societal value system. So I believe this comparison is a fallacy, and if we keep comparing two cities on the basis of statistics, we will not reach a conclusion and we will not be able to solve the problem.
It's not just statistics, it's women who've gone through hell, and those numbers say a lot. Mr. Luthra, thanks very much for now. We are going to take a very short break on this show.
And we also got a reaction from a public icon like Salman Khan. This is what he had to say about this particular rape.
ये इसका तो रोल ही नहीं ना कि लाइफ के अंदर ये जो हरकतें जो होती हैं रेप वगैरह ये तो डिस्गस्टिंग सबसे थर्ड ग्रेड जो क्राइम है ये तो ये जब जेल भी जाते हैं ना ये तो जेल में भी पिटते हैं दिस इज अ नॉर्म अगर कोई रेपिस्ट अगर जेल चला गया तो वहां पर भी उसकी बहुत तगड़ी पिटाई होती है
Every single woman is unsafe here.
Absolutely atrocious, and it needs to stop now.
Another gruesome gang rape in India's capital city has angered citizens and lawmakers.
जो घटना कल हुई है रोंगटे खड़े कर देने वाली है
क्या कर रही है दिल्ली पुलिस और क्या कर रही है दिल्ली की मुख्यमंत्री
This act of sexual assault should be treated at par with attempt to murder.
The 22-year-old girl is fighting for her life. Stop this shame. A CNN IBN campaign from 8 p.m. tonight.
This latest rape in the capital, brutal. The victim is still fighting for survival. You're watching a special call-in show right here on CNN IBN.
Strong reactions coming not just from across India, but also in Parliament too. MPs condemned the rape. The Home Minister was forced to make a statement. This is what he said.
A Criminal Law Amendment Bill 2012 has already been introduced in the Lok Sabha dealing with sexual offences against women so that the conviction rate is improved. In this amendment, we have also increased the punishment for rape.
जो घटना कल हुई है वो रोंगटे खड़े कर देने वाली है और पूरे देश के लिए पूरे समाज के लिए शर्म से सिर झुका लेने वाली घटना है
अभी जीवन और मौत का संघर्ष झेल रही है पता नहीं बचेगी कि नहीं बचेगी लेकिन अगर बच गई तो पूरी जिंदगी एक जिंदा लाश की तरह से गुजारेगी क्या ऐसे लोगों को फांसी की सजा नहीं होनी चाहिए इससे ज्यादा वो क्या करे रात के 9:30 बजे एक पुरुष मित्र के साथ चलती है लेकिन उसके साथ इस तरह की घटना घटती है अध्यक्ष जी आप स्वयं बताइए किन शब्दों में इसकी निंदा की जाए
I'm ashamed. I personally feel very, very ashamed that I'm sitting in this house and I'm helpless and I'm not being able to do anything. And I'm certainly very, very disturbed, and I'm equally disturbed by the answers that keep coming and being placed on this August House by the ministers concerned, which are totally incorrect.
Thus, this evening is the Joint CP Northern Range of Delhi, Mr. Tejinder Luthra. We're also hearing from many of you. MP Singh from Delhi is now calling us. What do you want to say, Mr. Singh?
As I see it, there's a total lack of confidence that the public has on the police. Forget about women. You know, I am a man of 50 years. I'm 50 years old. And I have never felt confident approaching the nearest police station for any help that I need. And if you look at the policemen, around, no woman in her right mind would ever muster the courage of approaching a policeman for anything, whether it is some teaser who is bothering her, or is some other problem. We need to take care of this.
Mr. Luthra, this is something, again, that we've heard a lot. You've recounted, you've given us many reasons as to why so many incidents of rape happen in Delhi, but the overriding sentiment seems to be people believe they can get away with anything. The law and order machinery seems to have failed, and they're not confident enough when they approach the police.
It is absolutely a wrong notion. People have confidence in police. People have been approaching police. And police and the other parts of the criminal justice system have been delivering them, redressing their grievances in most effective ways. I think there could be one or two instances where somebody might be feeling threatened to approach the police, and particularly in this issue. The issue is completely different what the caller is saying. In this case, police has taken prompt action and arrested 4 guilty within no time.
All right, sir, stay with us. We also have another caller, Manjula. She is calling in from Bangalore. Manjula, please go ahead.
Hi, this is Manjula, and I'm a resident of Bangalore. There's a lot of atrocity which are done against women, and one of them is a very fair example of what we have seen yesterday. A woman gang raped by men in a moving bus. What I fail to understand is why do we need a shocking gesture like this for people to sit up and make eyeball grabbing statements like what Mrs. Swaraj has told. She's like, no, he needs to be hanged. Why does it come only when such things happen? Why isn't a law which states that any person who is convicted of rape has to be given that? Why do we need amendments? Why do we need dharnas and all those things only after such heinous crimes are committed?
Sure.
And there's another example. In Jaipur, Mrs. Vijayaraji Scindia, she convicted a guy within 17 days. But what we see is for most of the cases, the trial takes months and months, which just increases the agony of the person who has been raped.
Okay.
Why cannot be there, fast track courts?
All right, Manjula, you're making that point. In fact, I'm going to take it right to Mr. Luthra, who's of course been listening to all this time. Mr. Luthra, 2 points there. Really, how much can, we've of course recently heard the lawmakers really, today especially MPs, really speak about how heinous this crime is, and perhaps there's a time for real change. Really, how much can that process itself also help? And also, of course, there are obvious comparisons between what had happened in Rajasthan, how fast that case actually went, what could possibly happen here. What do you have to say to what Manjula has just told us?
I would like to say that today the whole nation is concerned about this issue, and everybody is debating this issue in a very, very positive way. And even if there is criticism, it has been constructive criticism, and whatever flaws are there in our system, particularly the criminal justice system, we need to rectify them. And moreover, I would like to say that in our society, we have to take care of every aspect. We have to take care of the education level, we have to take care of the awareness level of the society, we have to take care of our value system, we have to take care of cultural values. Unless we account for all these factors, we will not be able to resolve this issue in a meaningful way.
Fair point, but the kind of anger we've seen today, people are demanding instant justice. We've heard many voices also in the Vasant Vihar area where our correspondent Parikshit Luthra was earlier today. People were very angry and they were saying that Delhi is no city for women.
All right, we're going to show you that and back in just a moment.
What's the worst thing about this case that hit you?
Every rape is a slur on a woman. That is what hurts me. And every rape is followed by another rape, by another rape. It doesn't stop. एक दिन की सनसनी की खबर हो जाती है बस हमारी बेटियां सेफ नहीं है. That is what hurts me. That's what hurts me. What animals are we bringing up in this world? This has to stop. And please, I beg you, all of you media people, don't just make it a news of 2 days and 3 days. Don't stop. Don't stop. Till Delhi is safe for our girls.
Every single woman is unsafe here.
Absolutely atrocious, and it needs to stop now.
Another gruesome gang rape in India's capital city has angered citizens and lawmakers.
जो घटना कल हुई है रोंगटे खड़े कर देने वाली है.
क्या कर रही है दिल्ली पुलिस और क्या कर रही है दिल्ली की मुख्यमंत्री?
This act of sexual assault should be treated at par with attempt to murder.
The 22-year-old girl is fighting for her life. Stop this shame. A CNN-IBN campaign from 8 p.m. tonight.
All right, you're still watching this special show on CNN-IBN this evening. We also have Mr. Tejendra Luthra, who is, of course, a guest of ours. We have callers coming in. But we also need to bring your attention to the kind of experiences women have had in this city so far.
Yes, two women turned citizen journalists for us to see how safe women feel in reality on the ground in Delhi, especially working women late at night.
Molested, groped, scarred for life. Horrific instances of crime against women that should have raised an alarm have only remained a name in the newspaper archives. Statistics to which numbers are added each day.
Welcome Delhi to a brand new edition of The Color Trend. I don't think I'd give it up for anything in the world, even if it means getting out of office at 10:30.
Hi, I'm Kiran Chopra. I am the executive editor of Models and Trends magazine. It's been 10 years that I've been working in this industry.
Radio jockey Roshi has just finished her shift and is heading home, like every other day.
It's 11 in the night. Videocon does. The same place where my colleague Soumya Vishwanathan walked out of that fateful night, only never to reach home. With this CJ Handycam, let me show you the travails of a single woman travelling in the city from her workplace back home. Come along with me. Well, the same thing once happened to us on the same road. A couple of my friends and I, all girls, we were in a car and we were heading to work. And that is when another car drove up next to us and they started chasing us, started making lewd gestures. And after a point, we were completely helpless and lost.
Roshi is not the only one who feels unsafe travelling home. CJ Kiran too has faced harassment on the roads of Delhi.
Particularly, there's this one incident that I remember. I was coming back with my sister. It was evening 5 o'clock. And I was at this traffic signal of Ladosarai. I had taken auto till there. You know, left hand side, so there's this car which comes full of 5 men and ogling at us, and this guy calls out, come and sit in my car. Just 5 steps ahead, there was this traffic police guy, and I waved him. I said, come here. This guy wants me to sit in his car. What do you want me to do? I told him, I said, no, I want to file a case against them. I don't know what is the big deal about all these people asking, what do you want to do? Obviously, there's this basic thing, why the hell have I called police? I did go ahead with filing a complaint, and these guys were there behind the bars for one full night. They just don't realize what a woman goes through when when you wink at her, when you wolf whistle when she's walking.
Why can't the authorities make the Ridge area and the entire capital of the country more secure and safer for women?
Why is Delhi not safe for women? That is the question women and many men are also asking. Mr. Tejinder Luthra, thanks very much for your time and for answering all those questions. We do hope that the police get the other 2 accused as well.
That's right. A lot has to be done. Mr. Luthra, thanks for joining us there. Of course, we are going to continue with this big story on CNN IBN, including a special show that's coming up for you tonight at 8 p.m.
That'll be all from the 2 of us. Thanks for watching.